Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video clips I'm about to show you, and also a news article that I'm going to read out to you, is stating that supposedly France, okay, is trying to have Elon Musk extradited and put in prison, okay, for 5 years. And not only him, they also want to lock up J.K. Rowling, okay. If anybody knows who that doesn't know who that is, she's the woman who wrote the Harry Potter stories. And they also want to put Donald Trump in prison also. But here's the thing. They want to get them extradited to France in order for this to happen. And it's all because that they feel that these people are cyberbullies, okay? And the one that's bringing the lawsuit is the Olympic boxer, okay, that wind up beating up on that girl, okay? So it seems like somebody got butthurt, and France, out of all places, out of all entities, in my opinion, thinks that they can just go and start pushing people around for having an opinion. Okay, so I'm going to show you this, some of this video clip by Maya Tusi. I'm sure that you guys have heard of him. He's got a great channel. If you haven't, go check him out. Show him some love. He's always on the ground in the UK, giving us the rundown of what's going on. But before I continue, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store, trueoutlawpatriot.com. Also, I'm leaving a link again. I know I say it every video, but I have to. For the Give, Send, Go and the GoFundMe campaigns for my friend Josie and for Loza Alexander. And one more thing, I just want to point this out, something I got to read to you guys, just so I can get this out the way before we start. Hold on one second. Okay, before I continue, I just want to clear something up from my video that I put out yesterday. Okay, some of the information that I put out, I had to go back and do a little fact checking, because there was some information that I came across a while ago, and I just wanted to double check on it, so I misspoke a little bit. But on the video description, I did put a notation about it, so I just want to clear this before anybody starts to think that I'm trying to pass disinformation, okay? Which I'm not. Trust me. If anybody knows me, I try to put out the right information that's out there. So I came on and said that it's a felony in Michigan to misgender somebody, okay? So I'm going to read exactly what the law states, okay? It says Michigan does not have a specific law that makes misgendering someone a crime. However, the State House of Representatives passed a bill in June of 2021 that would expand the state's hate crime law to include protections for sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. The bill, HB 4474, would impose penalties of up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine for hate crimes based on these categories. The bill still needs to be approved by the state Senate. So with that being said, I just want to get that out the way. But do I still stand against this bill? Yes, I do. Okay, because anything and everything that's going on as far as crime can be considered a hate crime. Okay, so to go and take a portion of society and say that you have more rights than anybody else, I think it's bullshit. Okay, plain and simple. Because even no matter what race a criminal is, if they go and commit a crime against anybody else, okay, that is not of their race, technically anybody could scream out and say that's a hate crime. Okay, and I know that that's not the way the laws are set up, but they are set up when it suits someone's agenda to use that term hate crime. So I think that this bill is a crock of crap, plain and simple. So With that being said, I just wanted to get that out the way. Like I said, I've been having a lot of lefties come on the channel and trying to just start all kinds of bullshit, but it is what it is. They're the ones that get butthurt, not me. But with that being said, let's move on to the video clip, the news clip of Maya Tusi and what's going on with France threatening to put Elon Musk in prison. Here we go.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel with the latest updates from the United States of America. Elon Musk is creating enemies left, right, and center. Why? Because he's doing the right thing. He's fighting for free speech. He's fighting for independence and self-determination. And apparently that's a bad thing in the 21st century in the Western world. Okay, so apparently Elon Musk might be facing a 5-year in jail and also a massive fine. Actually, not really a massive fine for him because it's like pocket money, £214,000 worth of a penalty. But he's not the only one. We're going to talk about all this because Elon Musk recently has been, let's just say, angering a number of establishments. On the one hand, he is at war with the British government and Keir Starmer. Obviously, that's not really anything new because he's been trolling the British government for the past couple of weeks. But also, we have the mainstream, liberal mainstream media in the United States and the US Democrats. They're also going for him. The European Union want to shut down his platform X and ban him. So you've got the British government, he's got the US government, he's got the European Union, and now the French authorities. I know. The French authorities. Why? Because this human, who's a boxer, Iman Khalif, decided to have a bit of a meltdown because he says cyberbullying is happening because of people like Elon Musk. Obviously, as you might know, Iman Khalif fought against a feminine woman, a female boxer in the Olympics, and obviously he won. And the whole controversy started. Now, it's not directly a transgender, but of course because of his masculine attributes, there were a lot of people who were not happy about that fight, right?
Exactly.
Obviously, people like Elon, people like J.K. Rowling, they all decided to criticize, and now, because Iman Khalif is getting a lot of cyberbullying, he decided to go to lawyers and the French authorities to say, well, it's the fault of J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk and others, including Donald Trump, going after every single person that he can. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the French authorities, obviously the lawsuit itself, these guys will be facing a £214, in terms of the currency exchange, worth of a fine as a penalty, but also a 5-year prison sentence. So obviously, as long as Elon Musk doesn't go to France, it's fine. But if he does go to France, or they might have to extradite him. The issue is the various governments are now going to be fighting over each other in order to extradite Elon Musk.
Well, all right. Let me jump into this. This is the way I see it, people, and I'm sure many of you will agree. That boxer, okay, is probably the first, from what I know, the first person in sports, okay, that has basically gotten butthurt over what people are saying online, okay. What I don't understand is, where does this person get off thinking that their feelings are more important than anybody else's feelings? Okay, we hear in sports, and it doesn't matter if it's in sports in Europe, sports in America, sports in Asia, anywhere around the world, athletes, okay, are open to ridicule day in and day out. You either love the athlete or you don't. You love the team that they're on or you don't. And that's just the bottom line. For France to go and to want to keep coddling this dude, okay, and make it seem like you know what? You can't say this online, and even if you say it halfway across the planet, we're gonna penalize you. The way I see it, France, you can go kick fucking rocks. Okay, you don't dictate what we say and what we do here in America. Plain and simple. That may work with the sheep you have corralled in France, but that's not going to work in America. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, they make it seem as if since we have the backing of the European Union, we're just gonna, we're gonna stretch our draconian arm to the other side of the planet and go and scoop up number one, the richest man on the planet. Number two, one of how can I say, an American, okay, who is a big economic factor to this country. Do you actually think that the United States government, okay, is going to let you come and take someone out of this country just because of words? Like, I don't understand anymore where these laws in Europe, how they just keep existing. Why are they even on the books? Why are they on the books? To criticize someone is one thing. To call it hate speech is something else. There is nothing hateful with having an opinion. Okay? Be it Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, Donald Trump, me, anybody on YouTube, anybody on any other platform, we have an opinion, and that's just the way it is. You don't like it, okay? You can just turn off whatever device you have. Pass it on by. Don't pay attention to it. But it seems like, just because people are criticizing this boxer, he's going to come out and say, oh, my feelings are hurt. Hold on one second, but isn't your life all about fighting? So you mean to tell me you can get in the ring, get punched in the head, okay, for 30 minutes straight, and you can't take a couple of bad opinions about yourself? Talk about pathetic. And I'll just add this one more thing. To France, just remember who saved your asses back in World War II. Okay? Because you guys didn't have all the strength in order to do that. It was America that saved your ass. But let's continue.
British government, well, not necessarily the British government, it's the Metropolitan Police and Scotland Yard want to extradite potentially Elon Musk. The French authorities might want to extradite Elon Musk, and so basically they're going to have to find a way to compromise. Maybe they can share him. He could serve a bit of a prison sentence in France, and he could serve the rest of it in London, and maybe he could also go to the European Union somewhere in Brussels, perhaps, to do that. Now, going back to this, and the reason that obviously this whole saga is now escalating, obviously Imam Khalif and the lawyers have come out to say about firstly possible repercussions for cyberbullying itself in France, as the actual president said this as well, but because of the French justice system. Online hate speech could also get you fined between 64,000 to 214,000 pounds, right, in France itself.
Yeah, but they'll do all that to somebody that they consider putting out hate speech. But yet, I mean, if you look at the news of the crime wave that's going on in France, are they going after the rapists and the murderers and the criminals with this much vigor? And the answer to that in many instances is no. They're actually turning a blind eye to the crime that's going on in France, especially when it comes to women and children getting raped. Okay, the same thing in the UK, turning a blind eye. Okay, I mean, it's hitting all over Europe, where Ireland is happening, in Scotland is happening, in Germany it's happening, in the UK it's happening. In France, it's like you people are so worried about this whole damn transgender movement that you're forgetting about people that are really being victimized. Okay? I'm telling you, what's going on in Europe, these officials, they truly have their heads up their ass. They truly don't care about anybody unless you fit their agenda. And even then, when they're done with you and you decide to change your ways, they're gonna spit you out like they do everybody else. They don't care. They don't care about human life. They care about people's feelings. Too bad about your feelings. The same thing goes for this boxer. You don't like it, bro? Stop boxing. You're gonna get ridiculed no matter what. Okay? So, I mean, just deal with the term. Just man up, basically. But let's continue.
The lawyers say J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are named in the lawsuit, among others, obviously. And the argument from the lawyers is, what we are asking is that the prosecution investigates not only these people who are actually cyberbullying Imam Khalif online, but whoever they feels necessary. If the case goes to court, they will stand trial. So they will basically say, Elon indirectly or directly, doesn't matter, inciting violence. He hasn't, by the way. That's according to the French authorities, the French establishment. So the French believe Elon is responsible for the chaos that happened in the Olympics. The British government and Mark Rowley and Metropolitan Police believe that Elon Musk is responsible for the riots in the UK, which makes no sense because the moment he started speaking out, the riots stopped. All that's happening. He also added, the lawyer said that Donald Trump tweeted, so whatever or not he's named or not, he's obviously looked into as part of the prosecution and investigation. Obviously going after an incoming president of the United States, that's a very, very bold thing to do.
Yeah, I really would like to see them try that. Okay, like I said before, we bailed your asses out in World War II. You come after our boy Trump, trust me, there's going to be some shit that needs to be handled. This is all bullshit. They're talking about hate speech and all that, how they do it. So if that's the case, then I think that every Christian on the planet should sue the Olympics and sue France, okay, for that blasphemous act that they did in the opening of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper. How about that? How about what is it on the planet? How many Christians? 1 point something billion Christians? How would you like to have 1.5 billion people sue the shit out of you? It'll make your country crumble. Okay? But you was okay with that, and then you try to take it down and you try to backtrack, or try to cover your asses, but now you're upset because the one person in the Olympics that's getting butthurt, okay, after winning, you think that you can just go and basically bully people. You're talking about cyberbullying, and look at what the hell you're doing. It's ridiculous. But you guys got the gist of this video. I'm gonna read you the article that came up that I looked up online, and out of all news stations, I'm very surprised MSNBC put their thoughts on it, and I'm very surprised who they had on the panel that was speaking some facts. But here we go. Okay, this article was put out by the Daily Express US 6 hours ago. It's put out by Joshua Mibu and Peter Allen. It says Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling could be jailed after Olympic boxer launches lawsuit. Celebrities including Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling could face prison if found guilty of relaying misogynistic and racist views against Olympic boxing champion Imam Khalif. First of all, if you want to say that it was misogynistic, that's one thing. But to come out and say that it was racist, how is it racist? How is it racist? I mean, listen, if somebody points out, if one of them pointed out someone's race, that's one thing. But if you're saying it's racist, because right now the way the left are doing things, any little thing you say, any type of criticism, they're considering it to be under the umbrella of racism. It's total BS, man. They make it seem that, if you're only on one side of the spectrum, nothing can be said about you, but yet they do not say anything when everybody on their side of the spectrum goes after everybody else on the right. It's ridiculous. It says her barista Nabila Booty said everything would be done to achieve justice. Yeah, right. After his 25-year-old client was pillared, yeah, pilloried or whatever the hell word that name is. That word is for taking part in the women's events at the Paris Games and then winning gold. Tech billionaire Elon Musk and Rowling, the Harry Potter author, are among those who accused Khalif, an Algerian, of being a man. Well, big deal. Big deal. Okay? Like I said, all athletes are going to be magnets for criticism, regardless of the sport. It happens. Okay? It happens all the time. On Wednesday, Khalif filed a lawsuit alleging acts of aggravated cyber harassment. Penalties for those found guilty of such an offense in France include up to 5 years in prison and fines equivalent to almost 250,000 euro. The Khalif complaint was filed against X, and an investigation was immediately opened by France's National Center for Combating Online Hate for cyberbullying based on gender, public insult based on gender, public provocation to discrimination, and public insult based on origin, said a statement from the Paris prosecutor. Man, you people are such a bunch of pansies. Okay? To have to put down all these categories, okay, that, like I said, it's just everyday opinions. You know, I personally don't really know anyone from France, and I'm sure there's a lot of good people in France. But, you know, right here, France is showing that they're just a bunch of soy boys. You know what I mean? Just so damn soft that they got to use the might of their police system to go after somebody over words. It's ridiculous, and there's not even words that were made to incite anyone to get hurt. Okay. 99.99% of the time, the only way somebody gets hurt is because their feelings got hurt, and that's it. Big freaking deal. Okay, deal with it. Like I said, man up. The Central Office for Combating Crimes Against Humanity and Hate Crimes will lead the investigation in this case. According to the same source, multiple sources close to the case said two personalities in particular were cited in the complaint, Musk and Rowling. It was also suggested by Mr. Booty, or Bowdy, I guess, that former American President Donald Trump will also be examined as part of the prosecution. Yeah, good fucking luck. In an interview with the Algerian news outlet, El Watan, DZ, Paris-based Mr. Bowdy said the hard prosecution evidence was made up of material published on the various platforms and social networks. It's all repeated, detailed content, and the attacks on her physique, her gender, her nationality, her appearance in general, and her status as a woman. Oh well, too bad, deal with it. So all the online content published in this scene will be tangible proof of cyberbullying. What my client suffered is indisputable. Asked if he could say how those responsible for the global smear campaign are being identified, Mr. Bowdy said yes. First of all, there are already all those who relate aggressive, misogynistic, and racist content. Where are we? Oh, the first perpetrators are political and public figures who use their own accounts on social platforms in this campaign against my client in this case. There are no identification problems. The perpetrators are known. The platforms are another issue. This is not a subject that concerns my client in particular. This question of moderation falls under the legislative power and not the judiciary. Our questions is in the individual responsibility of each person for their actions. You know, and it's okay, then I agree on that. Okay? So that means that every Christian, okay, should go after France, okay, and the people in charge of the Olympics, okay, for that blasphemous act that they did in the beginning of the Olympics. I mean, because by your law, we have a good case against that. But no, you can't have it that way, right? Why? Because you think that it's only fair for you and nobody else. Yeah, right. In this case, the platform sometimes has moderation obligations, of course, but on condition that it is contracted by the users. The law firm that I represent and that was contacted by Iman is responsible for prosecuting the perpetrators on the grounds of harassment. Admitting that bringing some perpetrators to justice could be a problem because they live overseas, Mr. Bowdy said the biggest attacks initially come from abroad. This is indisputable. I cannot go into too much detail today because of the secrecy of the inquiry. Yeah, right. What I could say is that perhaps other actions will come soon. Asked to describe Iman's main goals, Mr. Bowdy said to clear his name. This is the message he has conveyed and what he expects from justice. Yeah, if you ask me, it's just another smear campaign where you think because of your status, okay, your gender status, that you're going to go and get paid. And what better people, okay, to bring this lawsuit against, okay, than the richest man on the planet, one of the richest women on the planet, and probably the most famous man on the planet. And I would not be surprised that they're going to drag this on and say, you know what, since we can't put them in prison, we'll settle for cash. And in my opinion, they're probably going to be told, go kick rocks. You're not going to get anything. All you're going to do, okay, you're basically going to give yourself a Jussie Smollett target, okay, where you're going to be the laughing stock. You're doing more damage to yourself by wanting to have a lawsuit like this, okay? It says, where was it? It said, Mr. Bowdy said the boxer had been the target of a misogynistic, racist, and sexist campaign despite winning the women's welterweight category. Becoming a hero, yeah, okay, in native Algeria and drawing global attention to women's boxing. Yeah, I don't know about you being a hero, but you sure did bring global attention to women's boxing. The case comes 2 days after Khalif returned to Algeria, where he is expected to meet President Abdelmajid, I guess, Tebboune, Tebboune, I guess, and be welcomed by her family in her hometown of Ain Mesbah. You know, it is just totally ridiculous the way they're going to go and try to keep pushing this. This news clip right here was put up by MSNBC. Let's listen to what they have to say. Like I said, I'm very shocked at this, but here we go.
Well, Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling, they're now both named in a criminal complaint over accusations of cyberbullying. This was filed on behalf of the Algerian boxer and new Olympic champion, Iman Khalif. All of that, according to a new report from Variety. In fact, in a statement to the magazine, the Paris prosecutor's office confirmed it's investigating allegations of cyber harassment and discrimination. The Olympian faced a lot of scrutiny and abuse during the games based on her.
You know, I hate to say it, and I'm going to be one of the first ones to say it, I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of masculine women in weightlifting competitions, you name it, whatever. And I'll have to be honest and say it. This is the very first time I've ever seen a so-called female athlete that has no breast. Okay? I mean, it doesn't matter how much these women work out, you rarely see them with no breast. Okay? And I'm sorry, but my opinion, this is a straight up dude, but let's keep going. Let me go back to this. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry. It's just the way I see it.
To the magazine, the Paris prosecutor's office confirmed it's investigating allegations of cyber harassment and discrimination. The Olympian faced a lot of scrutiny and abuse during the games based on her gender. NBC News legal analyst Angela Sanadella joins us now. Angela, I remember when this story was first bubbling up, and I mean, it was just so hard to read, hard to watch. Some people were accusing her of being a man, which she is not. She is a woman. She does not identify as transgender, given all the comments and the misinformation.
And that's the thing. These people that are supposed to be these, what do they consider them? I did a video on it. That are supposed to be, what was it? Something like sex neutral or whatever the hell it is. When this first came out, like this person being accused of being a man, okay. I believe I read an article where the people that wanted to do testing said that they failed, that he failed and another boxer have failed. And in their findings, they were like, then everything points to these people being men. Okay? Not women having high testosterone levels, okay, like they're claiming. No, that everything points to them being actual men. Okay? And then, instead of like their trainers fighting back, they decided to just let that argument go and just, be told that they couldn't compete, and they left it at that. Because and the way I see it, they probably did that because what would have been the next thing in order to prove it? And I think what they probably would have did, and if anybody wants to clear it up, and maybe this is a little too personal, okay? So I'm not saying it in order to belittle these so-called women, but maybe they need to get some neutral standing females and doctors, and give them a physical. Has anybody ever thought about that? Because the truth of the matter is, listen, if they are real women, I'm sure they've been to doctors, okay? So it's like that shouldn't bother them if they were, if they were told, we got to give you a physical. What it says on your passport and all that's paper. Okay, and people say, well, that's proof. No, it's not proof. Okay, because in Australia they just passed a law that they're letting transgender people change their sex on their passports, and it's going to be law. So now you got these men with full beards and all that, actual men, that just because it says on a piece of paper that man's a woman, that makes it law, that makes it real. No, it does not make it real. So just, in my opinion, just clear it up. Just go get a physical by someone neutral, a doctor, okay, and let the doctor come back and say, listen, this is the deal. But something tells me that they probably won't go down that route. And if they do, they'll probably say, we want to pick the doctors. If you people catch my meaning on that. But let's continue.
That was posted on social media. How strong is her case?
So look, the strength of her case here really depends on French law. So we have to look at French precedent and how France in general has handled these cases. Now, in terms of the allegations that she is really making, they have to do with public insult based on gender and cyber harassment based on gender. That is not a really high bar to clear. All that she and actually the prosecutors who are now doing the investigation have to show is that anyone in France made accusations that resulted in her deterioration of life that were based on her gender and that were harassing. So that bar is not that high. I believe within the boundaries of France, she has a strong case to have France prosecute. And in fact, they have. France in many ways has been a leader of sorts in prosecuting cyberbullying.
Angela, Variety is also reporting former President Trump could get caught up in this investigation because of something he posted about her online. What does this actually look like, practically speaking, though, because this is happening in France? None of these people live in France. Could they actually face real consequences?
Vicky, that's exactly right. The fact that they do not live in France would make it extremely difficult. Donald Trump is not going to be standing trial in France for this, and that is because the United States would then have to agree to extradite an American citizen, not even because he's Donald Trump or not, but any American citizen to France. And in the U.S., look, our freedom of speech protections are very strong. They're different than France.
And I'm very surprised that they came out and let this go on, without the reporters, without the reporters like trying to pull something out of this woman's opinion that would have made it look bad for Donald Trump or Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling. And I say that because the mainstream media, they're all on board when it comes to holding people accountable when it comes to anything to do with the transgender community. Okay. So I'm very surprised what this woman just said, that no, basically she said no, it's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. And once again, France has its own damn problems, real problems. Then for them to be going out there and trying to get people who are just putting an opinion online, and then you want to go and prosecute them. I mean, I'm telling you, man, the whole European Union, okay, the way they're turning society on its ear, it is just pathetic. It is totally, totally pathetic, man. But to them, it's like, no, we want it our way. I mean, they're like a bunch of like just bratty kids that want things done their way, and they're not going to have it. You know, I mean, I'm almost willing to bet. Okay, like I said, that this boxer, okay, had somebody put it in their ear, and like I said, they're going after 3 very rich, famous people, and that they're going to want a money buyout before it's all said and done. And I hope, okay, that they don't get, this person doesn't get a penny. And to tell you the truth, even if they do win their case in France, I'd like to know how France is going to try to collect money, okay? I mean, they can say that, you know, this person won the case, but, you know, I'm no legal expert, but I cannot see them saying that this boxer won the case and they're going to try to, you know, reach out and try to get money from Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, Donald Trump, whoever, okay, out of all of them or even just one of them. But the way, to tell you the truth, the way the powers that be are with this whole corrupt leftist agenda, I would not be surprised if they come up with new laws in order for them to be able to do that. Because it just seems whatever works, whatever they can use, whatever laws they want to make to benefit them at the moment, and that goes in Europe and in America. The left, they are nothing but a bunch of snakes. Okay? A bunch of snakes. But anyway, we'll see what happens as time goes on, and it'd be nice to see what Elon Musk's response is going to be to this. We already know what Donald Trump might say. As far as J.K. Rowling, hats off to that woman. If anything, she's the one that's being cyberbullied only because she had an opinion when she was questioned on why there was no transgender kids or any gay kids in her movies, you know, in her stories. And, you know, for her basically saying, because that's not what it's all about. She got, you know, she got ridiculed, and she's still getting ridiculed. And it's like, who started the cyberbullying with that issue? It wasn't her. You had to wait, what, 20 some odd years after the first movie, you know, came out? Why? Because now the transgender community thinks that they have a lot more power because the left is giving them this kind of power? No, I'm calling bullshit on that, plain and simple. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around, give it a thumbs up. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And please leave your comments, people. And one more quick thing. I am about 100 hours away to reaching 4,000. You guys are doing great watching my content. Thank you so much. And just we got to keep this movement going, people. Keep this channel going and keep the movement going. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children in this country, pray for your enemies, and pray for Donald Trump. Peace.